Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I have an awesome video for you guys. I got all of the supplies that I need to start sublimation, and I was like a kid on Christmas morning. I was so excited. I played around with it a little bit last night, messed up some cups, and I'll show you guys just so you know, like, you mess up, it's fine. The only thing that sucks about sublimation, you can't strip them. But you can epoxy over them, so I do have a way I'm going to fix these. This was the very first one that I did last night, and it looks okay until you get back there. So what I'm probably going to do is just take like some double-sided sticky tape, put a line, glitter it, maybe put some glitter in the epoxy to make it all look like it fits. And this one will be okay. It turned out really cute. Ooh, let's not drop it. But the more that I played around with it last night, the more I kind of got like my own sense of what works best for me. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I am so excited. This is so fun. It is highly addicting. I'm going to show you everything you need before we get started. So my printer and my convection oven are in the house. Until I get this bad boy remodeled on the inside, I don't have a lot of like space, like counter space right now. So, since this does not require any epoxy or paint or sealant or literally anything, I can do everything in the house. So that makes it really cool. I'm still going to be doing epoxy tumblers, by the way. This is just something I'm adding in. So I'll show you those when I get inside. But for right now, this is the sublimation paper that I use. I got it from Amazon. And I will have links to every single thing you need down in my description. So this is painter's tape. Y'all have seen me use that before. This is heat tape. Very, very important. You have to have heat tape to put it in the oven. And I have these heat gloves here. Everything here is from Amazon. These heat gloves are a must-have. You gotta have the heat gloves or you can't touch the tumbler because it's in a dang oven. So you gotta wear your gloves. Everything here, super cheap. Even the paper was super cheap. It was like $17 and you get 110 sheets. So way different than waterside paper where you're paying like $14 for 20 sheets or whatever. So I was really impressed by that. This is the image I'm going to be sublimating on a tumbler today. Of course it's mirrored. You have to mirror your images because you do wrap it around the tumbler like so. So you want your image to be mirrored. These are the sublimation tumblers I've been using. This is a 20-ounce straight. That's another thing. I don't know how, unless you have a template, how you would properly wrap around something that's tapered. So this is a 20-ounce straight skinny tumbler. This is from MJT Custom Designs and More. I searched for hours for sublimation tumblers because everywhere sells them. Everywhere is sold out. So I got a case of these. Hopefully they'll last me a while. I doubt it because these are so fun and so addicting. You get them done in just a few minutes and it's awesome. Now I'm going to show you guys the process of getting the image onto the tumbler. And before I go on, my printer that I'm using whenever I get inside, it is an Epson EcoTank 2760. It is not a sublimation printer, but I converted it into a sublimation printer because the sublimation printers were like $1,000 or more. This EcoTank printer from Amazon was like $300, I think. So I took that over $1,000. Also, the ink that you want to use, it has to be sublimation ink. I got mine from Cosmo Inks. It was pretty much like buying all 4 colors that I needed for my regular Epson inkjet printer. So the cost there really wasn't any different. And it got here really quick too. Cosmo Inks had really quick shipping. And I'm going to put a video to another channel here on YouTube down in my description. Her name is Amy from Little Deer Designs Company. She's a friend of mine. She is a fellow tumbler creator here on YouTube, and she's a member of my Patreon group. And I actually followed her tutorial here on YouTube to convert my regular Epson EcoTank printer into a sublimation printer. So Amy, thank you. You guys, if you are wanting to get into the sublimation world, definitely check out her video. She had a really, really nice and very easy to follow video. I converted my printer over in like 30 minutes. So now I'm going to quit jabbering and just tell you how to make this. So you want to cut off everything here that is white. And the dimensions of this to fit perfectly on this 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler. It is 9.20 wide by 8.05 tall. So that's how I got that printed. And this nifty little thing here, I got it from Amazon as well, because Amazon is life. And that is what I use to get a straight cut line when I do this. I'm still just trying to figure out, apparently, how to cut it. I feel like it's lined up really well and it looks good, and then it cuts off not what I thought it was going to. Okay, so now it's ready to go onto the tumbler. And in case you are wondering, there is no sealing or anything like that required for these. I just let the image sit for like 5 minutes or so to make sure the ink is completely dry, because I don't want to smear anything. So what I do first is I take a piece of this heat tape, once I can find the end of it. I have a little tape dispenser coming in the mail, but it won't be here until Tuesday. But anywho, I'm going to cut a piece of this off and place it on the side, like so. And I'm going to put my tumbler down, put the image on here, and I like to kind of put it down and make sure the paper is even with the table, because then that makes it perfectly line up around the top and the bottom. And then you are going to really make sure this is tight. I mean, to the point where it hurts to, like it starts to hurt your fingers. You want this to be so incredibly tight around your tumbler that you don't feel any movement or air or anything. And there's going to be like the itziest, bitsiest little overlap. Not that bad though. So once that is on there, I am going to keep adding some pieces of tape until this little line here is all covered. I really cannot wait to get my tape dispenser, because this is a little bit annoying. Okay, so now you're going to take a really long piece of heat tape and it's going to go around the top and bottom rim. So make sure that you are, I have mine upside down, make sure you are putting the start of this tape on the side that is overlapping, if that makes sense. So as I'm pulling this tape around, it's pulling that paper even tighter, because that little tiny overlap is going this way. So that's why I'm trying to pull the paper more that way. And then you just want to take that overlap of the tape, put it down into your tumbler, and then do the exact same thing down here on the bottom. I always use too much tape, but I mean, it's okay. Again, I'm taking it from the side that is overlapping and pulling it. And then pushing down that overhang of tape over the tumbler. Now, you're done with the heat tape. Now, this is where the painter's tape comes in. I'm going to start with covering up this line of heat tape that I did here. And I like to have an overhang right here, and I forgot to take this sticker off. You might as well take these stickers off because they're going to melt and get real sticky and gross. So, anyway, I like to have a little overhang right here, and I will show you why when I get it in the oven. So then this is the most time-consuming part here. You are going to wrap the entire tumbler in this tape. And I am doing this the same way that I did the the heat tape. I put it upside down, started at the side that's overlapping, and started pulling it that way. So I am making the paper extremely tight around the tumbler. And so you're just going to keep doing this until the entire tumbler is covered. And if you have like little spots, like I know I will, that are peeping through, like it's okay. You don't have to cover up every single crack. Okay, now this is completely covered, so you're going to want to buy a bunch of painter's tape too, and wider if you can, so it doesn't take that long. But see, there are like little bitty spots right here that are peeping through. That is no big deal. So the whole thing's covered essentially. It's time to put it in the oven. I am using a Black & Decker convection oven from Amazon. I will have that link down in my description as well, just so you guys can see that. I put it on about 380, and I do it for 8 minutes. The reason why I like this little tab right here is because every 2 minutes I turn the tumbler like a quarter of the way. So if I start by lighting my tumbler here, then I turn it this way, then I turn it this way, then that way, and then it's done. So that's like my little indicator. So I'm going to bring you guys inside and show you the oven process. Now, also, I only use one glove. I'll put one glove on to put it in and out of the oven and turn it and everything, and then I'll use the other glove, I'll put it on my counter, and I'll use it as kind of like a heat pad protectant so I don't burn up my countertops. Okay, so now after all of that, you want to make sure this is completely cooled. So once you get done cooking it, you want to make sure it's completely cool. Sometimes if it's cold enough out here, because where I live the weather can't make up its mind, so like the other day it was warm and then yesterday it snowed. So it's still pretty cool outside, so I will put them outside to help the cooling process. But now is the fun part, and it's the reveal. I'm going to peel all of this tape off. It is extremely sticky from being cooked, so that's the only downfall. But guys, watch this. It's going to be so cool. Alright, so it's still pretty hot on the inside, so don't try to stick your hand on in there to do anything. You'll get burnt. But this is the finished product. This is the seam back here. So it's really, you know, considering it's tie-dye and it's going to come together and make a funky little spot anyway, it's really not that bad. So the bottom is empty. The top, you could see I got all the way around the top, and it overlapped the bottom a little bit. So when you're looking straight on at it, it looks like the whole tumbler is covered. I love this. I'm going to make 1,000 more of these, or like 10, because I think that's all I have left out of the case. So let me show you guys a comparison again to this one. So this is the very first one I did. The only difference was that I did not wrap the entire tumbler in painter's tape. So once I did that, it really started to help, and there was no like really bad like empty seam mark. So definitely make sure you wrap that entire thing as tight as you can without ripping the painter's tape, because it helps tremendously. I'm obsessed obsessed, you guys. It's so much fun. And I have something else coming on Monday that I cannot wait to show you guys. It's a surprise. I told my Patreon group, and I think they're being pretty good at keeping my secrets for me, because this was one of them, and I hope they didn't tell anybody. They're like my besties. I get in there and I tell secrets. That is it for today's tutorial on how to create a sublimation tumbler. Before I go, like always, I have y'all's cup of positivity for the day, and today's quote is, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." That was said by Milton Berle. That's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Go buy all of these supplies. It's so much fun. I've been wanting to do this for weeks now. Like, I think I posted on Tumbler Hacks 101 asking about like advice and like what I need, because I literally had no idea. And when I went back to buy the stuff, it was like 13 weeks ago that I'd asked the question. So I was like, oh, it's time that I finally just do it. So somebody on there was really super nice and was commenting, telling me literally exactly everything I needed, from the printer down to the paper to the heat tape, everything. So really nice of her to do that for me. She listed it all out and made it super easy. I'm gonna shut up now. Go get all this stuff. Go try it. It's so much fun, I promise. And if y'all have any questions, like always, please feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Be kind. Love one another. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!